definition of romantic literature. Romantic literature is the movement on literature. This movement especially happened in England and America. This movement happened because people in England at that time reject the industrial revolution in their country. The main characteristics of romantic literature in England is individualism, imagination, emotion. And the most famous writer, the most famous author in English romantic literature is William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, John Keats, Lord Byron, and etc. The characteristics of American literature is almost the same with English literature because America is new country, just reached their independence from UK. It's also individualism, emotions, innocence. But slowly but sure, the poet from America wants to make a literary work that based on American characteristics, nationalism, the soul of America, the pride to be an American people. There are two kind of romantic literature in America. First is dark romanticism. Dark romanticism is subgenre in romantic literature. Wants to show the dark side of human. The main characteristic is sin, self-destruction, and etc. The famous author in dark romanticism is Nathaniel Hawthorne, Edgar Allan Poe. And the other subgenre of romantic literature in America is transcendentalism. Transcendentalism wants to show the goodness or the good side of human being. In our group will be discussed summary of the story, issue, and also romantic element based on one of the most famous American romantic literary works. The title is The Black Cats by Edgar Allan Poe. I think that's all for me. Thank you for.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the Black Cat Group. My name is Puspita Irawan. everyone. My name is Siti Masruroh.
My name is Rhasindria Rasikah.
And then, happy watching.
Hi guys, here I am want to tell you about the story by Edgar Allan Poe. The title is The Black Cat. The story begins with he has so many pets. One of them is a black cat. And then he married someone who has some interest with him. However, because of the alcohol, he returned home and become more angry and more irritable. He loses both of his wife and his kids. One night, when he returned home after he drank, he sees his cat, and after that, the cat bites his hand. In a fury, he cuts one of the eye of his cats, and he goes to the tree and hang the cats in the tree and killed it. Because he knows he is committing terrible sin. After that, he burned his house into the ground, reducing her circumstance greatly. In the ruined house, he finds some picture of gigantic cat and one of the wall with a rope around its neck. When he tries to explain, he unsettled. And the other night, he goes to drink again. And then when he returned home, he sees another cat that almost identical with his former cat, but it has patch on his breast. And then the cat always stay with his wife and him, but he won't regard to his cat with fear and dread, associating it with agony and death. One day, he and his wife gonna go down to the cellar, and the cat followed them. But he became enraged and tried to kill the cat with an axe, but his wife stopped him. Overwhelmed by anger, he turned and killed his wife. He buries his wife in the cellar, breathing in her corpse, and finally, the police arrived and he shows them the cellar and wraps on the exact place where his wife's corpse is buried, saying how well the house is well.
Guys, I want to tell you about the romantic symbol on the black cat story. The first is the black cat itself. More than the title character, the black cat is also an important symbol. Like the bad omen of legend, the narrator believes Pluto and his successor have led him down the path toward insanity and immorality. The second one is alcohol. While the narrator begins to view the black cat as an outward manifestation of everything the narrator views as evil and unholy, blaming the animal of all his woes. It is his addiction to drinking, more than anything else, that seems to be the true reason for the narrator's mental decline. The third is house and home. You know the fact that home sweet home, right? It's supposed to be a place of safety and security. However, in this story, it becomes a dark and tragic place of madness and murder. The narrator kills his favorite cat, tries to kill its replacement, and goes on to kill his own wife. Even the relationship that should have been the central focus of his healthy and happy home falls victim to his deteriorating mental state. The fourth is prison. When the story opens, the narrator is physically in prison. However, his mind was already imprisoned by the cycles of madness, paranoia, and alcohol-induced delusion long before he was apprehended for his crime. And then the wife. The wife could have been a grounding force in the narrator's life. That he described her as having that humanity of feeling. Rather than saving him, or at least escaping with her own life, she becomes a horrible example of innocent betrayal. Loyal, faithful, and kind. She never leaves her husband, no matter how low he sinks into the depth of depravity. Instead, it is he who is in a sense unfaithful to his marriage vows. His mistress, however, is not another woman, but rather his obsession with drinking and the inner demons his drinking unleashed, symbolically personified by the black cat. He forsakes the woman he loves and eventually kills her because he cannot break the hold of his destruction obsession.
So next I will tell you the majority themes in this story. We know that love and hate are two key themes in the story. The narrator at first loved his pets and his wife, but as madness takes hold of him, he comes to love and dismiss everything that should be of the utmost importance to him. Other major themes include is justice and truth. The narrator tried to hide the truth by rolling up his wife's body, but the voice of the black cat helped bring him to justice. And the second is superstition. The black cat is an omen of bad luck, a theme that runs throughout literature. And the third is murder and death. Death is the central focus of the entire story. The question is, what causes the narrator to become a killer? And the fourth is illusion versus reality. We don't know. Does the alcohol release the narrator's inner demons, or is it merely excuse for his horrendous acts of violence? Or is it the black cat merely a cat or something imbued with a greater power to bring about justice or exact revenge? And the last is loyalty perverted. A pet is often seen as a loyal and faithful partner in life, but the escalating hallucination the narrator experienced propelled him into murder rage. First with Pluto, and then with the cat that replaced him. The pets he once held in highest affection become a thing he most loathed. As the man's sanity unravels, his wife, whom he also purports to love, becomes someone who merely inhabits his home rather than share his life. She cases to be a real person, and when she does, she is expendable. When she dies, rather than feel the horror of killing someone he cared for, the man's first response is to hide the evidence of his crime. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, so I will discuss about the issue in The Black Cat by Edgar Allan. Well, in my opinion, the main conflict in The Black Cat is about the psychological problem by the narrator. In the beginning of the story, the narrator is a good person and have a good life with his wife. And then he and his wife really likes the pet, especially the cat. But the situation is changed when he becomes a drunkard and he's often under the alcohol control. And then in a case, the cat
accidentally bites him. Bites him. And then the narrator catch him, and then the narrator looking for the replacement of the cat. When he brings a new cat to his home, his wife asked him to accompany her to the basement, and then once again the second cat accidentally makes a little fail that can make the narrator rip, like what is it, like want to fall down. And then this situation makes the narrator is very angry, and then suddenly the narrator is put the axe, but his wife tries to stop him, but accidentally the narrator turn around, and the axe hit his wife's head. And then after those incidents, without feeling guilty, the narrator hides his wife's body in false wall in his house, and then he tries to hide this case from the police. But there is a clue. I mean like a crying sound in behind of this the false wall, and then it makes the police notice that his wife's body is in behind of the false wall. I think this clue comes from the second cat. I mean like supernatural. In my opinion, it is like a goib things, like like a goib things, I think, yeah. Okay. So and I want to share my opinion that the issue in the Black Cat is almost same with what is it? With the Edgar Allan Poe another short story entitled The Telltale Heart. The main character, I mean the narrator, has the psychological problem, but in The Telltale Heart, the narrator has a conflict with the old man because the old man has sorry, I forgot, it is blue eyes or something, yeah. The point is the old man eyes makes the narrator feels afraid, and then in this situation the narrator kills him, and then he hide the old man's body in under the floor, yeah. I think the plot and the main issue I mean, is really almost same with this Edgar Allan Poe story, The Black Cat.